Hi, I'm Jonathan Dawson, and here's my story. At 22 years old, I get in the car business. I'm a newlywed, I'm young, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life, but a dealership gave me a shot. And when I started selling cars, I can tell you, my first month thought I was the stuff because I started in the middle of the month and I sold 10 cars in 12 work days. That was it, man. I knew I was good. Well, the next month, they set a goal of 20 cars, and I only sold 12. By my third month, I sold 3 cars and I got fired from the car dealership. The owner called me into his office and said, "I don't have time for people like you. You're sucking up my air conditioning." The truth was, I really wasn't committed to the car business. I was checking it out, and whenever you check out the car business, you usually end up checking out of the car business. So that day, when I got fired, I took a step of faith and I asked that general manager to give me one more shot. I knew that I could do it. There was something inside of me that told me that I could be better than I was. So I convinced that dealer to give me the second chance that I needed. When he gave me permission to stay on, he said, "You've got one day to prove me wrong." So I left his office and I went out behind the dealership. And this is where I had a come to Jesus moment of my own. You see, I asked God, why am I here? What am I doing at this dealership? You see, the traffic was not that great. The other salespeople didn't want a new guy around. There certainly wasn't any training at the dealership. And so I was really frustrated. In my third month, selling only 3 cars, I didn't make any money. And I had to borrow money from my mother to pay my own bills. That is not a place you want to be when you're a newlywed. So I said, "God, why am I here?" He said, "It's all your fault." I said, "You're not listening. There's no traffic. There's no support. There's no training." He said, "It's all your fault." I believe that day and that moment was the turning point for me when I accepted that everything that was coming into my life was my fault. So I made a promise to myself that from that day forward, I would learn how to do this business. I would learn how to serve customers and sell cars. I would become the #1 salesman at that dealership and the #1 salesman in that town. And I began a mission to change the way people buy cars. This is coming from a 22-year-old kid with no money in the bank who just sold 3 cars and got fired. But I had a vision. That vision turned into Sellchology. What I realized was that if I helped salespeople like I got help to learn the psychology of the sale. You see, I started studying books, going to seminars, getting CDs and DVDs, resources from mentors who had gone before me and been successful. I started collecting all those ideas and started to improve my personal confidence. I had somebody who went before me teach me how to be successful. And that inspired me, and I became the #1 salesman at that dealership. So what I'm trying to do now is teach salespeople what I learned that brought so much confidence to me. How to out-experience their competition by serving the customer. Learning psychology so that they understood why they were doing the things that they were doing. I'm passionate about helping salespeople. In fact, if someone asks me what I do for a living, I tell them I'm saving the world one salesman at a time. My goal is to provide teaching that transforms lives. So, thank you for taking a look at Sellchology University, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve your dealership as well. God bless. Thanks.